The Two Monks and the Woman. In a distant land, two monks devoted to Zen teachings embarked on a journey together. These two monks led quiet and peaceful lives, following their teachings diligently, spending their days in meditation, contemplation, and the pursuit of inner peace. They sought to embody the Zen philosophy in every moment of their lives, adhering to the principles learned in the Zen monastery. In the Zen teaching to which these monks were devoted, certain rules and boundaries existed. In particular, it was forbidden for a monk to touch women, as it was believed that such contact could create turmoil in their minds. Both monks knew these rules well and shaped their lives accordingly. One day, during a long and challenging journey, the two monks arrived at the bank of a wide, fast-flowing river. By the river stood a young woman, graceful yet anxious. She wished to cross the river, but the current was too strong, and she feared the river's depth. With a look of helplessness on her face, she turned to the two monks and asked for help. Upon hearing her request, one of the monks continued on his way without a second glance. He ignored her plea, thinking that according to Zen teachings, contact with women should be avoided. He had dedicated himself to the monk's path and committed himself to obeying the rules, so he chose to disregard the woman. However, the other monk, seeing the worry and fear on the woman's face, couldn't just walk away. Though he knew that Zen philosophy advised against touching women, he couldn't remain indifferent to her request for help. He looked at the woman for a moment, then without hesitation, he picked her up, placed her on his back, and began to wade carefully through the water. When they reached the other side, he set her down safely, accepted her thanks, and continued on his journey. Although the helpful monk had left the woman by the riverbank, the other monk could not let go of the incident. Hours passed, yet this monk continued to carry a sense of anger and criticism toward his friend, unable to rid his mind of thoughts of the encounter. On the one hand, he thought that such an action would not be accepted in Zen teachings, while on the other hand, he felt that his friend had behaved improperly as a monk. Finally, after days of holding it in, he couldn't resist asking his friend, "We are monks of the Zen path, and we know we must not touch women. How could you break that rule and carry her? Isn't that against our teachings? How can you say you're committed to our path after such an act?" The helpful monk listened calmly to his friend's question and replied with a slight smile, "I left that woman by the river days ago, but it seems that you are still carrying her." This answer created a flash of awareness in the mind of the questioning monk, like a lightning bolt. He had held on to an incident that had happened hours before, letting it spin in his mind throughout the journey, creating anger and turmoil within himself. Meanwhile, his friend had simply helped the woman and left her behind when the moment passed, continuing peacefully along his way. This story teaches us the importance of letting go of the past and not carrying the weight of each experience in our minds. The helpful monk experienced the event in the moment and then left it behind. For him, helping the woman was simply a requirement of that moment. When it was over, he moved on without carrying any trace of the incident in his mind. The other monk, however, remained mentally trapped in a past moment. His inability to let go of this past event disturbed his mind, causing him to carry the weight of something long gone. Although his friend had left the woman behind, he was still mentally carrying her, creating an unnecessary burden and inner turmoil for himself. Zen philosophy advises living in the present moment, without attachment to the past or the future. Acting according to the needs of the moment and then moving forward is the key to true peace and mental clarity. The story tells us that we should experience and let go of each moment of life. Past events serve to teach us or fulfill a purpose at that time. However, carrying them once they are over tires both our minds and our spirits. Seeing events simply as they are, accepting and releasing them, is one of the ways to attain the inner peace of the Zhenren. Zen philosophy encourages staying in the present and letting go of unnecessary thoughts. This story demonstrates how clinging to the past can disturb our inner peace and mental clarity. If we can live life without overly analyzing situations and accept things as they are, we can enjoy a more peaceful and free state of mind. Thank you for listening. I would appreciate your likes and comments.